Time to answer the age-old question of whether or not games do in fact age like fine wine, because I do have a battle here from the longest time ago. I really don't know when the original date of this being taken was. All I know is every day I go into my battle folder, I look at this and I think, is this the day to upload this thing? Because it is a game against Scott, aka Panobi, aka TheAcousticKind. It has been around. It's been years since he's uploaded anything for that matter. I don't know where he disappeared to. We all miss you, buddy. But it turns out I am not gonna let the world forget about you, because I do have. I don't even know what tier this is. I really don't. It's been that long since I played 4th gen. There's also a couple of interesting changes in 4th gen that I 100% forgot about, but we'll get into those when we get into those. This is also recorded with Camtasia, so if it looks a little choppy at times, it's Camtasia skipping on some frames, or Desmume. I also did edit this one. I still had my laptop, which was absolute garbage at the time. So I don't know what's a correct speed to narrate this at / accelerate this at. I'm sorry if it's too slow / too fast for some of you. I feel like this is okay, because I know for a fact I used to speed up my 4th gen and my 5th gen files during that transition period in a completely different fashion. Right here, he reveals Sub and Toxic. I right off the bat know that he has absolutely nothing to touch me. The cool thing right there is I totally forgot that Life Orb hitting a Sub, Life Orb stalling with Sub was not a thing in 4th gen. And I was like, was I running Banded Kabutops? That's really freaking weird. He predicts me right here very nicely. He decides to go right back out into his Moltres. It's also worth mentioning that Scott, if I'm not mistaken, was not sober at the time of taking this match. That kind of explains a couple of the plays. I guess in the middle, you guys will probably see that. But right here, I was like, you know what? The Sceptile's not doing anything as long as this Rotom is around. He also has a Leafeon and a Chansey, which are going to make things a little bit more difficult for this thing as well. I figure the best thing this thing can do is probably just take out his Sub and make sure he doesn't have one, making the job a lot easier for a different Pokemon that decides to come in. So I lose my spec Sceptile right there. It is normally a powerhouse, but him sporting a Quad Resistance and a Chansey, which I'm not going to say basically does the same thing, but it is a massive pain in the ass. Just going to do that. So, the cool thing here is I've had this Rotom. I told you guys how much I love Rotom? Like, honestly, I think normal Rotom just became my favorite Pokemon at the time of playing this game, and it's probably one of my favorite 4th gen pokes to date. Like, not the Wash Rotom. That Wash Rotom can go freaking wash its potty mouth out. Fuck it. Screw it. Can wash my mouth out too while we're at it, because normal Rotom is where it's at. Sub-Split, Life Orb. Been using this set around this long, and then even a little bit before then, because oh my lord, I love this set. It's fast, it gets past the, you know, the things that do the statuses. As you saw, you know, Moltres kind of fell to that. Did I take it out? I don't even remember. I wasn't paying attention. I was just too busy fangasming over Rotom. But a Sub right here predicting the Leech Seed, because it's like, okay, you know what? He's only going to go for the attacking move once, and then he's going to coax me into attacking, and then he's going to go for his Leech Seed. Nah, man, I know that game. I play that game. You attack first, and then lull him into switching or just attacking, and then you go for the Leech Seed. But it's like, no, I'm going to double Sub in your face. There's not a thing you can do about that. So he goes for Seed Bomb right here. I Sub predicting the Synthesis and nail it right on the money, which means I can just Pain Split right back up to full. But to be completely honest, we're not getting anywhere until I get some special defense drops with Shadow Ball. So that's not really a thing that's going to end up happening too much. And on top of that, Scott did me the huge favor of bringing a Chansey, which is just like, well, shit, that's a lot of HP. But at the same time, he switches this thing in on a Pain Split, so I'm like, shit, that's a lot of HP. Thank you for that, buddy. Gets me a lot off of that, which is nice. I can't really do anything to it, though. And he predicts my T-Bolt just goes right back out in Meganium. Honestly, don't care if I got a pair on it. Wouldn't even matter at all. So, I mean, although this was relatively easy for him to predict, it's like, still don't care because I'm behind a Sub, but it's like we're still not getting anywhere. Man, what a pain in the butt. So go for another Shadow Ball. That's not even a crit. It's just doing a regular amount of damage. A Spit F drop would be great right here. I know as long as he has Meganium and Chansey, I think I finally like came to that point in the match where I decided, you know what? Between Meganium and Chansey, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. So I just need to find an opportunity to switch in something. and then just wreck something's face, because I think I either had a Bandit or a Scarf Blaziken at the time. I honestly don't remember what it was. I know I used a Scarf Blaziken early 5th gen before it got Speed Boost, I believe under the same name, but I think the one I have on this team is Bandit, and I'm slightly getting ahead of myself, but that's okay. So I know if and when I do want to get out of here, I'm going to get out of here at full HP. Or very close to it. So 218 out of 41. I'll take that. That's cool. And I also get a nice chunklet off on the Meganium as he breaks my sub. Now I have an excuse to switch out because, you know, a lot of people operate under the credo, don't waste the good sub. It's like, you know what? I'll work with that right now. So I'm going to switch out into my Blaziken. He Leech Seeds it. Honestly, that's fine if I am a choice variety, because it's like I'm going to get 1 hit off on something, maybe 2 depending. And then I'll probably just get the hell out of dodge. So, I believe this is a banded one because he goes into Blastoise, and it takes a lot from a superpower. Like, a lot. I think like over 50%. I don't know if he actually was running a physically defensive one at the time, but that does a lot. That really does, in fact, do a lot. In case there's an Echo in here, I will just repeat what the Echo said, and it does a lot to a Blastoise. So, it's really funny to see Blaziken in a game, period, but it's probably the only place you're going to see it. I decided to go out into my Kabutops right here, predicting the... I don't know what I was predicting. Probably the Surf or the Toxic or something, whatever. He leaves this thing in. That's great, because it's going to take a Life Orb Waterfall, and because Eviolite wasn't a thing back then, it's actually really cool to see this thing just die from here. I honestly doubt it would have died from there if Eviolite was a thing back then, but... straight up dies. It's really great to see that. So goes in the Leafeon. I do have more or less a solid switch in for this, especially because I do think he is the support variant that's got like Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, whatever the hell this thing runs. I know it runs one of the two. I think it's is it Aromatherapy? I don't know. It's got Wish and Protect and Leaf Blade and some other shenanigans. So I see the Protect, I've seen the Leaf Blade, I go for a Facade Retake, so I'm like, this thing's gonna be super strong, and I think because he wasn't sober, it kind of lulled him into thinking, oh, you know what, Facade's probably my only attacking move. No, I got Brave Bird, so it's like, I just take out the Mismagius. That's a fair trade-off. I mean, the crit was really unfortunate, but that's how we operate around here. We lull slightly Tipsy Scott into false switches, and it kind of works to our advantage. So... to double down, he's got 3 pokes left, and I believe he goes into his Blastoise. It was a nice trade-off at the time because Mismagius is sometimes... I don't really see people running Mismagius anymore, period, just because of the power creep that happened in 5th gen, but when they do appear sometimes, they sometimes like to have T-Bolt. They did a lot more back then, in my opinion, which is kind of why he tried to go for the Aqua Jet right there, thinking he was going to die. I just ended up going for Shadow Ball on both counts right there, just being like, okay, I'll just hit something and I'll hit something. That Meganium's been taking Shadow Balls all day, and it has not gotten one Spadef drop. I am actually very surprised by that, but I'm gonna go for a nasty plot, predicting his Synthesis or his Leech Seed. I do in fact get the Synthesis, so he does get back up to full, but I do get +2, meaning he's not gonna like taking these Shadow Balls at all. And do I have sub on this thing? Why have I not gone for sub yet? Going for a sub on the Blastoise is probably a really good idea there, so I don't know why I didn't do that. Finally get the Spadef drop. I was waiting for that, and I think he Seed Bombed actually expecting my sub there, so that was not bad. The fact that I played a little more aggressive with this thing than I did with Rotom was actually pretty cool. So the Spadef drop, I don't know, I don't really think it mattered too much at that range, because if you saw how much it did before, and then even after lefties, it's kind of whatever. Plus I don't think he has anything left to take a Shadow Ball at this point, so he goes into Leafeon. I'm pretty sure owned a base speeds and stuff, and probably the fact that he's got a physical attack investment, or physical defense investment, that definitely seems like something Scott would do. Scott had a really bulky playstyle, so probably just a dedicated wall, you know, not special defensive or anything. That dies right off the bat, and then Blastoise is going to come in. I don't think he's in Torrent range either, but he can go for an Aqua Jet if he really wants to, and it does a lot, but a Shadow Ball is in fact going to take him out, and I believe that's going to be the game. So I don't know why I never uploaded this. I probably had live commentary on my computer somewhere. I probably had this like backed up on my JTV or something like that and meant to upload it and just ultimately forgot, or the audio got deleted or something. I don't know, but it was sitting in there just rotting away for the longest time, And that was, what the hell did I have left? Did I don't think I ever wasted Kabutops. So that's kind of cool. I think I still had Kabutops. I had Miss Magius. Was that it? What died? My Sceptile, my Swellow. I think that's all that died. So I don't even know, man. That was a 4th gen game. I'm surprised I had one of those, especially on my new computer since I took all the stuff off of my laptop and stuff a long time ago. Anyway, that was a battle. I hope you guys liked it. It was kind of weird, but I guess if you guys did like it, you can leave a comment, leave a like, rating, all that stuff. Subscribe, do your thing. More importantly, which is actually all 3 of them. It's kind of like saying ATM machine, but that's how I roll around here. So, anyway, that was a battle. I also uploaded TCG earlier this morning. It was a little bit late by the time I got back last night, so it's like I don't really feel like editing and stuff by the time I got back, so it's like I did that. There's TCG in your sub box, and there's this in your sub box. For those of you that have been asking about the packs that I got, I will be doing a pack opening. Don't worry about that. That's coming tomorrow. That's gonna be a thing tomorrow. And I honestly don't think there's gonna be a battle, because I'm probably just gonna take the weekend and make new decks with the stuff that I got. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's it. So I'll see you guys later.